and then we flip it around and you get to see me. So this is day 6. I actually got it right this time. Day 6 of no weed, no Adderall. And I gotta say, my mind is definitely a lot more scattered not taking Adderall. When I take Adderall, I'm just locked on to whatever it is I'm locked on to. But that's not always the right thing to be locked onto. A lot of the time I'm just locked onto something and it's just kind of like, it's not optimal. It's more like I'll pick something and then I just focus on it excessively, whereas off of Adderall, my brain is constantly going through every single possibility of everything that I could possibly be doing at any point in time, and then optimizing that sequentially, and then basing what I should do next off of where all the combinations of the sequential actions could possibly lead me, and then optimizing off that, and then recontextualizing various possibilities based off the eventualities of the sequential actions. I'm gonna meditate and journal and plan, and like I have to rely a lot more on sticky notes. But not that I didn't before. It was just like, I feel like Adderall is a great employee drug. Like if I had employees, I would want them all taking Adderall. If I just want you to do a specific task and shut the fuck up, like Adderall is great because it's just like, oh, do this, okay, yeah, do this now, okay, I'll do this now. But in terms of optimizing actions, it's not as ideal. So I think that this is also going to have a massive impact on my jiu-jitsu, especially now that my gut is healthy, i.e. I'm having solid poops. Let's define that. I'm having solid poops consistently and I can sleep and I have energy and I don't feel like I'm gonna die or puke. So that's the concrete definition of my gut works. Because for most of the previous, I don't know, 10 years, that wasn't really the case. And then before that, I couldn't even really sleep. And I just found out George Masvidal had insomnia as well. This just drives me up the wall. Like, I just want everyone with insomnia to know that I figured out how to fix insomnia. Like, I figured it out, people. And he's doing some hyperbaric oxygen stuff that's probably going to work for him for some period of time. But unless you really fix your mitochondria, you're not. And I like Joseph Mercola's book, Fat for Fuel, on metabolic... I think is it modern metabolic training? No, mitochondrial metabolic training, MMT, or mitochondrial metabolic therapy, MMT. That gets really close to it, but he misses the enzyme connection, the detox connection, the breathing connection, the physical activity connection. Like, there's a lot of other stuff going on, in support of the mitochondria, and I feel like he misses those things because he didn't have chronic insomnia for his entire life and actually have to push his theory to the utmost limit in order to sleep and not die. So I think that's really why I have the best understanding of mitochondrial optimization of any human on earth, is because if I didn't, like, everything I did to sleep. And then looking back at the last 16 years of my life, I'm like, I've just optimized my mitochondria. I basically just figured out everything a person can reasonably do to optimize their mitochondria, didn't I? And then all the research confirms that, and then I have a whole bunch of other stuff on top of that that I've figured out in addition to the research. And then I also have all these other points of things that have worked, and that gives me greater insight into the research again, because I have this persistent issue. And this persistent issue has really made me have to figure out why mitochondria work and why they don't work, because when they don't work, I can't sleep. When I can't sleep, I research the mitochondria. And definitely a better thing to do than like anything else. Like, if I can't sleep, research time. Gotta be research. but I don't ever want to have to do that again. I just want to continue my nice path in life that I've created for myself right now without having to take another detour to hell. I also feel like I've gotten enough body awareness at this point that I don't need to have insomnia to, because I got the ADHD as well. Like my brain is a very scattered place. So in order for me to make coherent thought actions, I have got to be on point. And that's a nice thought because that means I can optimize my focus without drugs. Like today I didn't take paracetam, but I'm still very focused, but got to fast tomorrow because I just feel this like it's the sensation is like imagine like you have a watermill, like the watermill is in a river, and then you just take the watermill and you put it under Niagara Falls and you start like that's kind of the feeling. Is it's just like this speed increasing in my brain without any drugs. I haven't took some caffeine today, had a little bit of tea, like a little bit of tea. That's it. That's all I've had. But I feel this increasing. There's a euphoric element to it a little bit, but maybe you could consider it mania, but it doesn't really feel like mania. No. I'm not going to call it mania. That's just not even accurate. It's more just like, I feel like what it is, this is interesting actually. I haven't tried to describe this at a cellular level, but I'll give it a go. It feels like my brain is trying to increase its metabolism in order to detox iron. Potentially. I think that would be a good way of putting it. Is my brain is like, so there's inflammation. It feels like a little bit of neurological inflammation, but not like the really bad neurological inflammation that causes insomnia. Though it can actually, if I don't fast, eventually I will have to fast because I just stop sleeping. Even on carnivore, I'll just stop sleeping because I feel like it's gut related. So, yeah, I feel like there's autophagy needed in my brain. Like my brain needs to do autophagy. I don't think I'll always need to do this. I think probably in a year I will have autophagized all of the plaque buildup in my brain, and it won't develop a inflammatory feedback loop as quickly. But I feel like it's this is what I feel like it is. I feel like it's like my brain, it's a brain gut thing as well, because my gut also, it is. So I feel like my gut and my brain, like my gut and my brain are fucked. Like they're fucked. It is not fun to be inside my head when I'm experiencing these things, and my gut is fucked as well. So I feel like what it is there's bad bacterial growth in my gut, and there's probably plaque in my brain. It's definitely plaque in my brain from not sleeping, and there's like, it's like you get like Lipofuscin buildup in, I wonder if you can see, let me see, I'm gonna find it. Okay, there it is. It's a liver spot. It's fading. Okay, yeah, that's a liver spot. It's fading, and that's Lipofuscin, which is basically a plastic made of fats. It's a polymer. It's made of fats and iron. And you get lipofuscin buildup in your brain as well, and it causes inflammation. It's fading though. It's fading based on what I'm doing, which is nice because I don't want to have liver spots. I'm 26 years old. What the am I doing with liver spots? Well, go through my channel and you'll see what I'm doing with liver spots. So, yeah, so lipofuscin builds up in the brain, and metabolism itself causes inflammation. Just normal metabolism causes inflammation. Just the production. And normally this is good. You need inflammation to stimulate metabolism. So what happens is my brain metabolism feels like it's speeding up in response to this inflammation, which is also helping the inflammation. But because of the lipofuscin buildup, there's really no release valve on this because the lipofuscin causes inflammation on its own as well. And there's probably residual bad bacteria in my gut, and probably just my body moving large quantities of iron built up from my cells out of my body into the gut, cause inflammation in the gut, metabolism increases. Like, I've eaten almost 6 pounds of steak today. Excuse me again. I don't know why I keep burping. Probably because my gut's fucked, but whatever. So, and this is what I've noticed, actually. I've noticed a distinct pattern here. So, thank God I'm not smoking weed. Oh, God. I did a lot of research when I was stoned. But I do better research not stoned. And I'm just so glad to have got the brain function back and the feeling good in my body back to the point where I don't need Adderall and I don't need weed. And I can just function as a high-performing human being who's not, like, fucked from his experiences. That is so nice. Like, I feel like I'm, like, born again. I feel like I'm becoming a baby again. I feel like I get, like, another chance at life, honestly. Really, I feel like I have another chance at life. I'm like, thank God I'm not so screwed up that it's just a freaking scrap job of a life. It's like, I literally feel that way. I've been through the fucking ringer. So, yeah, this is predictable. So, predictably what happens is, as I start to experience these gut issues again, probably because of detox, and I'll make more videos on that, but basically, detox is real. Your body detoxes excess iron, detoxes heavy metals, detoxes plastics. Like, oh my God, if you're consuming anything out of a can, stop. Because there's plastics in that, which are bad for your body, because your body then has to retain iron if it's going to get rid of the plastic. And then when it retains the iron, that increases inflammation, which decreases your body's ability to get rid of the plastic. And then eventually you end up with a bunch of plastic in your cells, and then your cells don't work, and you're a plastic and iron buildup, and you're going to get plastic and iron cancer. Though I think all cancers probably rely to a large degree on excess iron. Or most cancers that I have experience researching rely on excess iron to a large degree. The Otto Warburg effect, I believe, supports that to a large degree. But I still have to technically connect those things because I can't quite speak to that off the top of my head at the moment. Actually, I could. It would just take a little bit of a detour. No, I could actually. I actually could. I went through my brain, did a little check, and my brain's working, so I could speak to that, thank God. But basically, though, so my body is lipofuscin. My body's detoxing this iron into my gut. The presence of the iron in my gut creates inflammation, bad bacteria, more inflammation. And right at the cusp where this starts becoming a problem. So, like, if I didn't fast, in probably 5 to 7 days from now, I'd start experiencing more sleep disturbance. And I didn't sleep the greatest last night, but I slept in. It was good, and I feel good. But it's right at this cusp, right at this little cusp. I could probably just take tons of vitamin C, like tonight, and just ignore this. The next day, just ignore it, take more vitamin C. Then I'd end up at a point where I was taking so many supplements, and then they would stop working probably in 2 weeks, and then I would just be shitting my brains out, not sleeping again until I did a 72-hour fast. I've been through this a number of times. Just go through my channel the past few months, and you can see me go through this again and again. It's fucking shit. But I know a lot about cells and cellular dysfunction, so stick around. You can find that out. So Basically, though, this is very predictable, is that as this starts to become a problem, my body increases metabolism in order to rectify the issue. And I feel that in my brain. It feels like this instability. Adderall actually corrects this instability. If I take Adderall, I'm like, oh, I feel stable. I'm not distracted by everything. But it's, again, it's probably got magnesium stearate and binders and fillers and all that stuff that's bad for my gut too. And it's masking the problem. I want to feel the problem so I can correct it to the utmost of my ability without having to have insomnia. Like, I want to keep learning about my body and using my body as my primary tool for learning about these things, as well as research, as well as peer-reviewed studies, as well as trying to conduct my own studies and stuff, without having experienced insomnia. So I could build a testing protocol around in-depth meditation. I could I'll find some feedback loops and stuff. I could do brain EKGs and stuff. I mean, this is all very interesting. But basically, this is very predictable, is that as I start to approach this inflammatory cusp, my thoughts start speeding up. And it's not mania. It's not mania. It's just like a high degree of distractibility. And the peak of this is when I was like 2 years into carnivore and drinking energy drinks when I was 20. And I would just be staring at a screen trying to type out the beginning sentence of my essay, and I just had too many thoughts going too fast to even do that. So I went on Adderall. Now we're here. No Adderall, no weed nor Adderall, day 6. Thank God I'm learning. I've kind of just like accepted that my life didn't really go the way I wanted it to as a teenager and young adult. So I feel like I'm like God's tool for showing people what life progression really looks like. Like, you don't peak at 20, you peak at like 45, 50 if you do everything right. Hopefully I can show you all that, because I better peak at 45, 50, because I didn't get to peak at 20. I just got to experience hell 3 times for months and years. Like this last episode, 18 months. From like the age of like, and I didn't even feel good as a kid in elementary school. I felt like shit. I felt tired all the time. Didn't even know what it was like to feel good till I first did carnivore. And even then, I still didn't feel that good, because I ended up going on Adderall because I couldn't tell that the energy drinks were screwing me up, because I was able to sleep for the first time in my life. And then it took those like freaking, I don't know, 18 months to screw me up to the point where I felt like I had to go off carnivore. And then it took like, what was it, 2 years for going off carnivore to screw me up to the point where I was experiencing insomniac hell again. And then it took 18 months for me to get here. And now I'm here, baby! So there better be a higher peak to this mountain, or I'm going to be really effing disappointed. There is. I believe there is. Not to the same degree that I believe in God, because I like Peterson's definition of God. Like, it's not even Peterson's definition. It's like Bishop Newman, also Elijah the prophet. They like, it's just God is the still small voice of conscience and the spirit of creation, who are one and the same and are also love, life, and truth. By aligning myself with these things and articulating them into... I'll show you the God engine, actually. I'm going to write this book now because I just finished my other project. That's the God engine. Engine, people. That's the God engine. That is what that's my next book. I also have the Daily Meditation Training Journal. That I gotta publish that thing, you know. I also gotta read it because it is so insightful. Like, drink from the well of your own cistern, you know. I read that and I'm like, Devin, you're a wise man. Why don't you do any of this shit? Just cracks me up. Oh, because we all have our peaks and our troughs. I got to get my night wrapped up because I got stuff to do tomorrow. But it's been a pleasure chatting with you fine folks. Tune in tomorrow.